So I'm going to show you how to be a type reader using mainly visual cues and vibes. So I'm going to talk about INTPs, and like INTPs have this passive energy about them. They will seem like still pond water that is moving slowly. INTPs have eyes that are very calm and cool, like this. Whether their eyes are big or small, they do not appear to be opening them all the way, and thus their eyelids appear to be drooping. As a result, their eyes do not let in a lot of light. In contrast, extrovert feelers tend to have eyes that are bright. Many INTPs, at least in their younger years, really do not pay much attention to their appearance or hygiene. The soles of their shoes may be coming off like this. They dress not to impress. This is because extrovert feeling is inferior and their extrovert sensing function, according to Socionics, is a polar function, meaning that it's the weakest function. Extrovert feeling is concerned about others' reactions and kind of what's fashionable, and extrovert sensing is about physical appearance. And these two functions probably have the most to do with being attentive to appearance and impressive dressing. INTPs like things that don't really stand out, like a black t-shirt that would have a pallid white design on it. And this design may express the nerdy interest that they have, or something that has quirky humor on it. Sometimes they may dress in something that catches attention, but only as a joke. Like I saw in the NF Geeks video, there's an INTP dressed in a neon camouflage shirt. Many INTPs appear to have fro hair, and that is because those who do have fro hair tend to grow out the froze. It is hard to type people by dress because other functions come into play, and INTPs are going to dress for different reasons. Some are going to dress to fit in, others are going to bring out their extrovert feeling and actually try to impress. And those who are attentive to their dress will be very bookish about it, about their research into how to dress. Others will grow old and they'll, grow old to become a professor or something, and they'll just have conservative formal wear, which they use all the time. That's predictable because that's easy for them to manage. So with their cool, calm eyes and not really caring about how they appear, many INTPs give off a certain vibe of not giving a shit. So it's evident in their speech too. For instance, they may sound like this. It is just whatever it is. It is kind of refreshing in a way because in a world where everyone else is concerned about things that don't matter. However, as I said, other functions come into play, like extrovert feeling. Their speech may seem dispassionate, but some of them have touches of, actually a lot of the time they have touches of extrovert feeling sensitivity in their voice. Some INTPs are able to put on the concerned face with their extrovert feeling like this. And when they hear about other people's difficulties, and they use when they have to encounter that. And they also use it when they express their own convictions sometimes too. Since extrovert intuition, extrovert feeling are their extrovert functions, when they really get into a topic that they're passionate about, their eyes start to flash and they can speak quite passionately. Some INTPs will opt to express more NE, of the NE side, by appearing goofy, playful, or clever. I notice types with extrovert feeling have a long reaction time in their emotional expression in response to something. So I'm not an extrovert feeling user, so when I react to what someone says, I'll be like this. Oh. But when type with extrovert feeling, like an INFJ, when they react to what someone says, they would exaggerate the expression and then hold it for like 5 seconds. So they'll be like this. And some INTPs will use extrovert feeling so they'll do the same thing as that. However, their extrovert feeling will appear more effortful because it is their fourth function. Like INFPs, extrovert sensing is polar, which means that's the weakest. So it is even weaker than extrovert feeling. Extrovert sensing is about having this strong presence. So as a result, the voices of INTPs are rather soft, and they do not project themselves well, and they look like they're stooping. Like INFPs, they worry about getting into other people's space. So when they feel like they're in someone's way, even when they're not really, they'll like say "excuse me," and then they'll scoot over like this, but no one will really hear what they say anyway, and because people just talk over them when they speak. With extrovert sensing polar, they do not really understand carnal desires, and this is reflected in their demeanor and also their philosophy. Everything INTPs say is tentative. They like to provide caveats before they state their opinion, so everyone would know the limits of their knowledge, and in this sense, they're radically honest. As thinking dominant types, they will appear to be in their heads thinking. Their eyebrows may furrow, and their speech follows a strong logical progression. And if you listen to them speak or reason, it's like this. Like, it goes like this, and then it branches out into true/false statement, and this thing branches out into another true/false statement. And that's what introvert thinking is. It just keeps doing this ad infinitum. And when you watch them speak, they engage in the subject for its own sake. So it looks like they're just really enwrapped into the subject, even when they're talking to a group, and they're less likely than other types to try to impress with words. They're just into the subject itself. Unlike an INTP will attempt to articulate everything and do their best to convey their thoughts into words. And an INFP is more likely to feel stuck and say, I can't really explain because, behold the mystery of the universe. And though INTP's language may be technically correct, some INTPs forget that no one can understand their jargon and to make what they say relatable to others. And therefore they bore people to tears. But only some of them do. This is why law and academic philosophy exists. It's because of INTPs and their writing style. And they're written by INTPs, and they're only meant for other INTPs to read. If you want to test if someone is an INTP or ISTP, ask them to watch an emotional movie with you. They will feel awkward about it and prefer to watch it alone. They either would need to be hiding in the dark or of a movie theater, or if the INTP is watching a movie with you, if there's a sensitive scene, you'll see that they have this urge to leave. They're afraid to experience it with you. This does not mean that INTPs do not like heartwarming or gut-wrenching movies, and some of them, actually, a lot of them secretly love them, but curl up with the movie alone in their own time. INTPs do not easily get embarrassed, but when they do, it hits them hard and they blush all over. And they will be afraid to elicit such a strong reaction again in themselves, so they'll be avoidant. And like in the case of the movies, they want to avoid such situations that will cause them to have such a strong reaction. The explanation for this is that extrovert feeling is an inferior function. There's a higher threshold for it, but when activated, it's very evident that they're very sensitive to their feelings. There are two types of INTPs. One is like very chill and relaxed and easygoing, and the other is more willing to explore things, and the other is more judgmental looking, like very judgmental looking, to the point of being intimidating, and they will have all these like little rules for things. And the judgmental version likes to raise their eyebrows like this. I can't really raise my one eyebrow, but they do this one eyebrow raise like this, and they'll look like Ruth Bader Ginsburg scowling. And that's all I have for now.